So this is life and I'll be your concierge. Today we have a very special guest in the house. I'm absolutely honored to be speaking to the Proteas national cricket player, Tony de Zorzi. Welcome, my brother.
How's it, man? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming around. Can we cheers?
Cheers,
I believe is it not bad luck to cheers with water?
I don't know. I just know you must look in the eye.
We'll find out. Just in the eye.
Otherwise it's bad luck for something.
For something we should speak about?
No.
Should not speak about. Not at this point. Wait for the whiskey to drop a bit and then we'll revisit that conversation.
Sweet.
So de Zorzi, bro, what is the origins of the surname? And
it's Italian. My mom's the side, long story, but basically it's an Italian surname. So yeah.
Italian, okay.
Yes. I can't speak Italian though. So
I was about to ask.
No. I wish
No?
it would add some more like sauce, but no, I don't. I can't speak Italian.
Okay. Scratch off. No Italian from Tony today.
No.
Okay, cool. And where you from, bro? Because I when I first saw you, I was like, you look like a Western Cape boy. You know, you look like you could be cousins of everyone in this room today. But you're not from the Western Cape, are you?
No. From Johannesburg, born and bred. I was there like most of my life. And yeah, I love Joburg, but I'm pretty happy that I'm in Cape Town now for the last 4 years.
So you're living here full time?
Yeah, living here full time. I'm happy I've made the move. It's a nice place to stay.
Okay, sweet, man. But how does that work? Like, where you're a Proteas cricket player?
Yes.
Like, where do you guys practice, or is it like, are you flying up and down to practice in Joburg, around the country for practice sessions, or how does that work?
No, so you'll have like your local side. So like my local side is Western Province,
Nice.
and then when you get called up to the Proteas for tours or camps, then you'll go train there or go have like a small camp before you go on tour. And then, yeah, so like in our team is like 4 or 5 guys who are like with the Proteas in and out of the team. And then obviously it's all the provinces, similar, exact same setup as rugby, actually.
Okay, cool. Who were you playing for before you joined the province squad?
So I was with the Titans. That was for about three years, straight from school. And then I eventually moved here.
Why the move?
I enjoyed my time at the Titans. It was a nice team, a lot of senior players. There was most of the Proteas at that time were from the Titans, so it was a very strong side. But Ashwell, who was coach at the time at Western Province, spoke to me. Yeah, Ashwell Prince. He spoke to me. There were a lot of young batters at that time coming through Western Province, kind of through his hands. Yanaman, Hamza, Bedingham, Verena, all guys that I'd played with and was like kind of looking up to, and I wanted to, work with him as a coach. So I was with him for like 2 years before he moved on, and then now I'm with Snakes. But that was the primary reason.
Okay, cool. Because whenever I hear of like sportsmen moving to the Western Cape, I think it's like for the vibes and, like just being closer to the ocean. Especially as a single dude, I think like it's a good city to be in.
When I moved, actually, I wasn't single, so that wasn't.
Okay.
I am now, but no, that was kind of the reason. I mean, the vibe, like you said, is cool. It was a young team. It still is a pretty young team, so that's why I moved. I think, Ash was like a legend, or is a legend in his own
100%.
right. And like I said, there were a lot of young batters coming through, and I thought it was when he wanted to work with me specifically, I thought that was an honor and something I had to take opportunity, whatever.
Okay, sick. So you say you moved here with someone?
I was with someone at the stage,
okay.
but we're no longer together.
Are you in the market? Are you like, are you consciously putting yourself out there to find someone? Are you happily single right now?
No, I'm happily single. I'm not looking for anyone. I'm accepting CVs and stuff, but
you okay?
but no, I'm
Nice,
not like
dog.
actively looking.
Nice, dude. Okay. Singledom is a nice place to be in. I mean, I'm not single right now, but I remember when I was. It's there's a freedom with it. Like, or do you prefer being in a relationship? I'm just a question.
I shall answer this. No, I think I enjoy both. I think there's pros and cons in a relationship and pros and cons out of a relationship. I think as a young guy, I think you have to have some, in my opinion, I think it's nice to have some time alone to find out what you like about yourself before you can try find what you want in someone else. I think sometimes I've seen an experience maybe in a relationship young and you don't even know what you like about yourself or what you want, but you're just in this relationship, so you kind of mold yourself. So I've enjoyed that part of it, finding out those things about myself and that.
For me, it was always I was always curious, like how, you're a superstar cricket player. Obviously, you're traveling the world, you're doing what you love. You're 26?
Yeah, 26.
Damn, I'm 11 years older than you, bro.
Don't look it though. You look.
Thank
I
you.
thought you were like 30. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like, you obviously have to have a whole nother level of discipline, you know what I mean? Because your spouse is not always with you and you're traveling the world and you read all these sportsmen's books and shit gets wild out there, you know what I'm saying? Like how do you maintain that type of discipline? I mean, not just like in a relationship or out of a relationship too, like
I just think you obviously have your goals, and you want the things you do outside of the field to kind of work towards those goals. And if they don't, then obviously, like you say, you're not being disciplined.
Yeah.
That could be in relationships or just like dieting, gymming,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. So it's only, I think it depends on what your goals are. If you just want to like, you know, enjoy your career and chop life or whatever, that might be your goal, then then you don't really need as much discipline. But if you have other goals, other aspirations, then obviously what you decide to do will kind of feed into that.
Fair enough. But were you always a disciplined person like that, or is it something that you've had to hone over the years?
I think it's definitely gotten better as I've gotten older. I think you find a way of making the discipline part of your lifestyle, not like a chore, and it's something you're excited to do. I wouldn't say I was always disciplined. I mean, if I had to ask my mom, she'd say I was like a naughty kid or the guys at school.
Yeah.
I think I've always had like a decent work ethic, so that covers up for, you know, discipline or anything like that.
Okay, dope. Single mom, right?
Yeah, single mom. Yeah.
Siblings?
I have two half brothers. One he's actually in Italy now for some football. He's really good at football. I'll never tell him that he's better than me, but he's actually really, really good. So he's doing well. And then my other brother's in LA. He works in LA at the moment.
Sweet. Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What does he do out there?
He does like marketing and like online web design kind of thing for like smaller companies.
Okay.
So that's like his own hustle. He's doing pretty well. Probably.
So you guys are close?
We weren't originally when we first started, like when we were younger, obviously separate families. But I think as we've gotten older, you know, it's actually easier to get closer, I actually find, because obviously you got all the modes of communication. You find you have a lot of similar interests. So I think it's easier. Well, I found it easier to get closer as we got older.
Okay. And relationship with mom?
Me and my mom.
Yeah.
My mom and I, we're very close. She's probably like my best friend. We speak all the time. So she's still in Joburg though. So I'm trying to get her to move down to Cape Town eventually.
Nice.
But yeah, we're very close.
Was that quite a, because I find a lot of, like my godchild is single mom household. Like, do you think that has like an impact on a young man? You know, like the absence of like, say, a father figure, or is that of something that you've had to like step into on your own accord? Like, you know, kind of, because I feel like a single mother household, especially with a boy, I think he's forced to kind of grow up quicker or like step into man, like being running the show a little bit. Did you find that, or is it?
I think maybe it's something that happened subconsciously. It wasn't something where I decided like, okay, now I must be a thingy. I think it just happened subconsciously. I was at boarding school as well for high school. So
boys' school?
Yeah, boys' school. So that, I suppose that gives you an opportunity to grow up around other guys and stuff like that. I think every household and every child takes those situations differently and impacts them differently. For me, I guess it was like a blessing. I still have a good relationship with my dad now, but I think my mom and I are close, so it's like I'm happy the way it happened.
It all panned out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, awesome, man. And I've always thought about like, especially boys' schools, girls' schools. Are you like an avid like ambassador for that way of schooling? Because I have some friends, like guy friends, who went to boys' schools and they turned out to be like, you know, you could see they're different species of man.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it's less distractions. Because when we went to school, you're going through school at like puberty, 13, 14, and like girls are like a beautiful distraction. You know, you didn't have that.
Yes.
You know, do you feel like that kind of definitely impacted the way that you are? And
I'm sure it had a massive impact. I mean, I went to Concierge, so it's a pretty good school, great school. All boys love their school. They think their one is the best. But some guys go to those kind of schools and they hate it. Not necessarily for the girls, just because, you know, the institution, the discipline and the traditions and stuff like that. So I think it really just depends on what kind of person you are. Like I said, some people brings out the best in them. I was at boarding school and that was some of the best times of my very young life. So yeah, I'm glad I went to Cares. I mean, I still have a couple of close friends from there. Guy that's staying with me now, he's actually from Cares for the week. So yeah, you make like friends and brotherhood kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And you see the guys. I think we have our 10-year reunion next year, which I can't believe is already there. So it'll be interesting to see where everyone kind of ended up. There were some madmen at that school as well.
Yeah,
so.
I can imagine. Did you have any like crazy initiations? Because I know boys' schools are like, at least the things that I've heard, you guys have some wild initiations at those type of schools.
Yeah, we did have some hectic ones. Looking back, I was thinking, geez, I don't think that would be allowed now in this day.
Borderline illegal.
Yeah, this day and age, you'd get in trouble for those types of traditions. But I honestly, I enjoyed them. I love them. I mean, when you see your mates again, you speak about those initiations and traditions, and breaking out of the hostel to go swim and like all those things. You kind of you remember them. But yeah, I think nowadays I don't think you'd be allowed to do half the stuff.
Yeah, I always think about my time as well. Like when you were younger, if there was camera phones around, like I would have definitely been cancelled or in jail, or So yeah, I get it. I wanted to ask you about like at school. Is that where you found cricket, or was it always just cricket, or was there any other sport that you were looking to pursue as well, other than?
No, I played cricket like from when I was young, but I played most sports. I was actually better at football. That's why I said I won't tell my brother that he's better than me. But okay. And then at high school, at an all-boys school, obviously rugby comes about, so everyone has to play, or everyone decides hockey or rugby. So I played rugby. I loved rugby, played first team rugby for like 2 years, some provincial. So I actually had like a small decision, but it was an easy one. I was never as good as at rugby. But yeah, I played most sports. I'm playing golf now. That progress is going very slowly.
Yeah, it's such a tricky sport, bro.
I thought it would be easy.
Fucking boring, bro. Like to watch it.
Yes.
It's one of those sports for me where I feel like I need to be a participator, not a spectator.
Yeah.
Like once you're on,
watch it as well.
Yeah, while I watch, like it's a natural like.
I'll watch the Masters and the Ryder Cup because I feel like that's quite special, or that feels like the production value is quite good. But the rest of the tournaments I struggle to watch. So
okay, so it's not just me.
No, it's not just you.
Crazy. Yeah. And what position did you play rugby?
I played fly off in 12, but yeah, both positions where you don't need to be like super quick, just good skills. So that's why I played there, and I loved it. I mean, you play like your rugby festivals and stuff, you get big crowds, and it's pretty. I reckon that's probably like the pinnacle of most schoolboy sports players. Even
when
if
the best schools in the province all come together,
for the festivals and stuff like that. So yeah, I played 12 and 10.
Okay, sick, man. T20 versus Test cricket. Do you think that, because I mean, when I used to play cricket, I stopped. I was never as good as considering a professional career in rugby or cricket.
Yeah,
that's why I became an actor. But
good decision.
Yeah, but I've always wondered, because at the time when I used to enjoy watching cricket, it was Test cricket and it was one days, and I totally fell out of the desire to, I don't know, I just stopped following somewhere. Like, do you think that a lot of like maybe too many options is kind of derailed the whole thing a little bit? Because it's funny, because more than at any point in history, I think you guys are playing more cricket than you used to play, right? Because you're playing for this club, that club, you're playing in India, you know what I mean? But at the same time, do you think that you're losing or gaining a following and spectators?
Yeah, I think it's the way you put it, like it's like on a fine line at the moment, because like you said, there's a lot of cricket for the spectators or for fans to absorb. And sometimes because of that, maybe it's tough for fans to have that same type of affiliation to a specific team, because like you said, one player could be playing for Sunrisers in India, then Durban Supergiants in South Africa, then still Proteas and all the leagues and stuff. So I think that's probably where people might struggle. I think 2020 has brought different types of viewers to cricket, which is always important, because obviously it is about eyes. So you're competing with all the sports, rugby, football, whatever. So I think cricket has brought different spectators to the game, which I think is important. I think cricket purists and enthusiasts obviously still would like to see a lot more Test cricket. I think that's what we grew up watching. That's what I still kind of grew up watching. I think this generation is a little bit different. I think the impact of social media and marketing on instant kind of gratification gears more towards 2020 cricket, where the game's done, you can have your beers, quick post, and then it's the next thing onto the next game. I think it kind of feeds into that. But yeah, when I speak to like old mates or people, and you have a bra or whatever, obviously the cricket purists still want to see a little bit more Test cricket. I think I'm also would like to see us playing more Test cricket, but it has to be financially viable for all the cricket unions in the world, and that's probably why 2020 is doing so well and so prevalent, because most of the unions make most of their money from the 2020 stuff. So
yeah, it's definitely become more of like a spectacle.
Yeah,
like they've zhuzhed it up and made it more palatable for modern day audiences. To try and I guess reel in the younger guys
100%.
as what to watching. It's funny because I'm kind of like aligning with what you're saying with social media, kind of what do you call it, minimizing or reducing people's attention spans. Because it's the same with me, like in the arts or like acting or film, for example. We used to be totally okay with watching a 3-hour film.
Yes.
That like has a beginning, a change, an arc, but now you have to like catch people like right in the beginning, and like it can't be too long, and it has to be, everything needs to be choppy and smaller, so that people can consume quicker and enjoy it and just move on to the next. Keep them engaged.
Yeah,
that's wild. Because like I said, I enjoy Test cricket, and I fell off somewhere. Like I'm still a huge fan of the sport. I think you guys are incredible at what you do, and I won't say no to a ticket to go in to watch a game, of course. But things have changed, you know.
Yeah, things have definitely changed. Like I said, I think everything's quicker, everything's sharper, and I think that affects all sports. I mean, you see it now in the rugby, like they're playing a lot of competitions.
I'm so lost to the rugby, bro, because it's like, what am I watching now? Is this URC? Is this Heineken Cup?
Yeah, there's everything going on.
Is this the Tri Nations? Is this Super 12?
Yeah.
Now then there was Super 14 or 15, and it's tough to keep up.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I think everyone's trying to find the sweet spot.
Damn. Yeah. Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. And you travel a lot. I saw your page. You enjoy traveling.
Yes.
What was the latest country you've been to?
Your latest country, actually. We haven't gone internationally for a while. So the latest would be...
But I'm talking about you as an individual.
As an individual? Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't done any international tours for a while. So where have I gone recently? I think it was Istanbul. Must have been Turkey, I think.
Yeah.
I think Turkey, last year off season was Turkey. Yeah, that's a cool country as well.
Turkey.
So, yeah, I really
Because
enjoyed it.
a lot of by watching your travels, it seems like you prefer traveling solo. It gives this like Eat, Pray, Love vibes, you know, where somebody's always like on a...
That's not what I wanted
is
to
it
give
not
off.
that? No, in a good way. But like you see, like you're very comfortable in your own space and riding out solo. Is that just like your nature? Or are you the type of person to like call up a bunch of friends and be like, yo, let's go on a boys trip?
I think it's tough because obviously with the schedule, you as much as you want to plan in advance, you might only, for instance, get the end of May 2 weeks off, and then you can go on a small trip. And it's tough if your friends in and outside of cricket don't have that 2 weeks off that they can just go off. And then you end up just, if you wait for everyone, then you just won't go. So
I just figured maybe you're just like sick of traveling with a whole bunch of dudes all around
that
the world.
as well.
You're just like, let me take this trip alone.
Yeah, I mean, often when you travel, obviously in teams, you got to like be at breakfast or be at a team meeting, or it's very structured. So when you go by yourself, you don't answer to anyone, just do whatever it is you want to do, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
And then, so that's probably the main reason. But obviously, like I said, like people's schedules don't allow you to say, listen, I can go at the end of May in 2 weeks' time. Can you? It's tough. People can't get off work and stuff like that. So I haven't really, I'd like to go to South America by myself. I think that would be a pretty cool trip. That's on my bucket list, but I don't know when I'll have time to do that.
I think why I said the Eat, Pray, Love thing is because I think I saw on your page as well that obviously you're a spiritual guy. Like, do you have a preference? You look like a dude that probably prays and meditates. Like,
I pray. I can't meditate, or I've tried, but I haven't mastered it. So no, I wouldn't say I meditate at the moment. But yeah, I'm spiritual. I pray. It gives me peace and grounding, so I use it for that, and I enjoy it. And I feel like you're always learning. I read the Bible when I can. So yeah, nice. I enjoy it. It's important for me. But it's not something I like to, like post excessive amounts of. I feel like it's my own relationship and my own journey. It's
like part of your own balanced kind of.
Yes.
Because you're not like leaning into just like spiritual posts.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit multifaceted, but I feel like, that's something that I use to, ground myself, and I enjoy that time.
Sweet. And if there was anything else, like let's say if you didn't have the career in cricket, is there anything else that you think you would have liked to have pursued, or anything else that...
But then I would have had to make it in rugby. There was no other plans.
Really? So always sports?
Yeah, it had to be. I feel like you have that feeling, you will play a sport or do something along those lines. So I think maybe then I would have tried to push that. But Actually, I don't know. I mean, my marks were average, so I couldn't see myself being a doctor.
Okay.
But I got into university, so I would have been okay. But yeah, I think eventually I would have tried to go along the lines of something where I get to, express my personality. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't think I would have been able to do acting. But yeah, maybe something along those lines.
But it's funny you say that, because it actually comes through on your social media as well. Like when I check your social media, you can see you have like a natural flair for like content creation, and you've got some funny videos up in there.
I try.
Well, it's cool. It's cool that you do that, because you nail it. Like you do these like vlogs and your voiceovers, everything's on point. Is that something that like that you get reached out for a lot in terms of like endorsements and sponsorships and stuff?
Yeah, it started.
That's another stream of income.
Yeah, it has started now. It has started now. You got to just. I'm learning. You have to try filter through what it is. You obviously don't want to work with. Not you don't want to work with everyone, but you don't want to come off as that guy that will just work with anyone. I think then you like saturate your own market or whatever. So I'm learning that now. I mean, as much as there's cool stuff that people offer you, deciding if it suits you as a person or your brand, or if it is actually even a product that you would use, I think then it comes off more authentic. I mean, someone might offer you an exponential amount of money to promote something, but if it's not something you would use or something you agree with, then it ends up just looking like an advert, which I think I'd like to try my best to stay away from, because I'm still a cricketer. This is more just for like fun, and I suppose you learn new skills, camera editing, all those kind of things. I mean, I still use CapCut. I can't go into like DaVinci and those things yet, or Premiere Pro, but it's a cool skill to learn.
Yeah. And do you have like a team that you count that you just like go to for any counsel with these things? Because it doesn't like come naturally. Like, I mean, it must be quite overwhelming with brands reaching out, wanting you to endorse their product, like as to who you say yes to, who you say no to. Because I think for most people off the bat, the driver would be money. Like, what are you giving me? But these things can bite you down the line. Like, do you have a team that you
I think a lot of the time for things like that, I'm the kind of person that will trust my gut. I think more often than not, that's a pretty good compass. Like I said, if I feel like it's not something I would use or something that speaks to me, and I also feel like if it's something I'm not proud to have associated with me, then a certain amount of money, you can still feel that even though you're doing the content or making it. So I think I would be able to gauge that. If it was something that was like borderline or a bit controversial, then maybe I'll chat to my mom about it and get her opinion, because she's not on social media so much. So it'd be a completely like different point of view.
Third party.
Yeah, I'll just be like, I don't know, my boy, if this is right or whatever. But other than that, no, not really. Not like big teams. I don't know. I feel like often you have these big teams and they end up just saying what you were thinking anyway, because
and they can manipulate your perception on many things, like especially like big corporate. And then you become, I guess, the face of something that you don't particularly stand for.
100%. And that's the last thing that you want, I think, because it's tough to then lose that brand or whatever, or wipe that off your CV. Yeah.
So back to cricket. Who were the players that you looked up to the most growing up? Because, like, I mean, I was in a different generation. I remember, like, for me, it was like Herschel Gibbs. Still, like, I just read his book.
Yeah.
He's just, one of the icons of the game for me.
100%.
It was Pollock. Who else? If we go to this Australian team, like Hayden, all of these dudes, those are the type of players I used to watch back then. Shane Warne. Do you maybe you were like the generation after that? Is there any particular players that has like shaped your?
I wouldn't say I was able to copy any of them or like allow them to shape. There were certain guys I preferred to watch. So I think I loved Brian Lara when I was young.
Didn't he have that score? Was it 400
or something like
495?
So, he's a legend of the game. So he's like someone I used to always watch videos of on YouTube. But I couldn't copy his swing. I mean, it's a special swing.
You tried?
I did try, no lack of effort, but I just didn't have it in me. So him, I think I loved Herschel as well because he was just a different kind of player at the time in South Africa, rock star, whatever. Yes. I loved Hashim as well because everything just looked so natural. He's arguably SA's best batter ever. Like, he was beautiful to watch. Test cricket, you used to know, like, he's coming in at 3 and like you could fall asleep before lunch. After lunch, he's still going to be batting.
There.
So it was always, you just knew that it was going to happen. You wake up early. So yeah, I'd say there was different guys for different reasons, different sports. But no, I wouldn't say it was like one guy that I was like, oh, he's my hero. I've never really been that way inclined.
Yeah. Are you more of like that Matthew McConaughey approach where my hero is 10 years down the line? Like I am my hero 10 years down the line.
I mean, I read his book.
Green Lights.
Yeah,
I just finished it 2 weeks ago. It's a good book.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
That's how also we'll be able to tell if I'm in love. The way he describes his wife there, I was like, okay, that's a pretty good parameter for.
But I was just like, why did he take so long to marry her though? Like, I mean, I get it. It's Hollywood, but like, if you love her that much, that came to mind. Because at first I was also like, damn, yeah, this is how you love a woman.
Yeah.
Like, I've only been with her and only her, the only woman
So
I ever want to be with.
Yeah.
I had 3 kids with her and didn't want to marry her.
Yeah.
And then it took his child to tell him,
you should marry her.
Why aren't you married to my mother?
Yes.
For him to marry her.
Yeah.
I was like, but were you in love though? Or is this for the book?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him that. But yeah, no, it's a good book. I think 10 years. I don't think I'm that way inclined. Like I'm my own hero. I mean, I appreciate the things I try to achieve.
Yeah.
If my mom's proud of me or thinks I haven't changed too much as a person, then I'm pretty good.
Do you keep things simple? Like you find that keeps simplicity is king in your life, like to avoid distractions, because there's a lot of distractions. I'm sure you get yanked from every angle. Come to this event, come to this podcast. Like a lot of people want your time now, especially that you're like such a notable player of the game. So it's like, how do you structure your time like that? Like,
dear Mom, you're my best friend, okay? You're the funniest person I met in the whole world. But you're so bad at hide and seek. You do make the best brownies though. I love it when we go riding together. When I'm older, I want to be pretty like you. Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, you try not to wear yourself too thin. I mean, Gersh's been asking me to come for a while, so I was like, I owe him. So you just got to decide what's important. You know, who's the people you don't mind doing things for, because, like you said, everyone's going to ask. Eventually, I think you do have to learn to, like you say no.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing. Obviously, just try to do it in a respectful way. But yeah, I think if it comes naturally to you, then it's not really a distraction. I think if it's something completely outside of your scope of things, then it can maybe be a distraction for you.
Yeah. Okay. Opening batsman, right?
Yes.
1 or 2.
I don't like to usually face the first ball unless my partner and I like. Every partner is different. So some folks like say ching chong cha. Some guys say pick a side, and then it's like a 50-50 gamble on who's going to face. Some guys like they want to face first ball. So it just depends on your partners actually. But yeah, 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay. Fastest bowler, or like, is there a bowler out there that you kind of get nervous to face?
I haven't faced that many international guys. I faced a few, so I can't say yes to that. But when I say no, I'm not nervous. It's not because I'm arrogant. It's just because I haven't really faced as many guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool when we played against India. Boomer's there, so that's someone you like. You grew up watching for a while. Obviously, arguably one of the best bowlers in the world. With KG, Pat Cummins, those guys. So he's there running in with the cool run up. So it was like cool moments where you're like, oh, this is sick. I'm facing Boomer. I think on my debut I faced Alzari, who bowls rapidly, bowls really quick.
Yeah.
And he's a proper competitor. So yeah, there's different guys. But I mean, if you're gonna have a test match camp or something, and you have to face Anrich, KG, Marco Jansen, Lungi in the nets, you pretty much ready, because that
ball comes fast,
bowling.
bro. I was at a game recently.
I
think it was the Paul Royals versus, it was a couple of months ago.
Oh, during the SA20 probably.
Exactly. So it was, you don't realize how quick that ball is being bowled. I was like, holy shit. Like, I can't remember who the bowler was. Who plays for Royals? I don't know. That ball was just coming so fast.
Royals might have been Lungi.
I think it was Lungi.
Must have been Lungi, maybe. Or the other guy, Obed McCoy, the left-hander, the tall guy. I'm not too sure.
Who would do you have a preference as to what type of bowler would you prefer facing as a opening batsman, spinner or fast bowler?
I think most opening batters will take pace on the ball, prefer pace on the ball, because that's what you probably face the most. Just get more accustomed to that more than anything else, because I think walking in against spin is also a different skill. So if you had to I think if you had to ask opening batters to maybe go bat 5 in an international game, walk in when the field is spread or when there's not as much pace on the ball's not as new, so it doesn't travel as far. That in itself is a different skill. So, but if you had to ask guys who bat like 5 and 6 or whatever to come open the batting, they would also say it's a completely different different skill set. But having always been at the top of the order, I'd probably say I prefer to stay there. Yeah,
with pace bowlers.
Yeah, with pace bowlers. But it's not because I just want to face 160 because I love it. No, it's also a bit scary.
Yeah. But shouldn't the tactic change though? Because shouldn't you rather be putting the bowlers that the top 2 would not want to face? Why wouldn't you open with spinners? Why are we opening with fast bowlers?
Well, that's the thing. Like some teams do open with spinners. Like you'll see a lot of the times in 2020 cricket, the first over will be a spinner for that exact reason, that opening batters aren't always moving their feet their best to spinners. It's a different skill set, like I said. So you'll see a lot of times, like in Test cricket, not really at all, unless it's the last innings and it's starting to turn. But yeah, you'll see sometimes 50 over games. I mean, Kesh always does it for the Proteas because he's gone with the new ball. Bjorn in South Africa also does it with the new ball. Bjorn's basically like an opening bowler because he's so skilled at bowling at the top as a spinner, and he gets a lot of wickets because, like I said, opening batters aren't always at their best against spin in the power play, but it's usually 1 or 2. There's only a few spinners in the world that are like really good and successful at it, so that's probably also why. But I mean, like off the top of my head in South Africa, I'd say like you watch Bjorn and Kesh with the new ball, and probably Subs as well. They're really good, so they do it often.
Okay. And did you go to university?
I did go to Tux. I was studying a degree. Didn't finish it. It's just like on pause for now.
Okay. Plans to finish?
Yeah, I think otherwise my mom will kill me. But she hasn't really said it too much, so maybe she's forgetting, and we'll just keep going.
So because I want, do sports people always go and finish their degrees? Like if you know you are going to, let's say, it sounds as if your path was already carved out for you. You were going to become a Proteas cricket player. It's obviously the allure is to like not have to finish your degree. Like, would you advise any young cricketer or like young professional sports person to always get that paper behind them?
I don't,
because it must be tough to like find the time to now go and study a whole undergrad degree.
I think the timing, your time management is probably the biggest thing. I think obviously if you if you're like in a professional team and now you kind of studying either through UNISA and stuff, which a lot of the guys in our team do, they study through UNISA. I was at Tux, so it can be tough in terms of like time management. But I think I always think that it was good because in my first year I wasn't signed as a professional cricketer, so I was only studying and playing cricket at Tux. So it gave me, like structure coming out of school. Yes, you have your freedom, but you still had to obviously be at classes, do your assignments and stuff like that. So it kind of allowed me to phase my way into the real world, can you say? And I think that helps. Not all cricketers need it. I think for me it was good. And I think if you're not too sure what to do and you have opportunities, whether it be bursaries or an opportunity to study in some way or another, then you might as well take it. And if at any point you don't enjoy it, then I suppose you can just stop.
Yeah, and what major was that? What did you?
I did BCom entrepreneurship, so that was sweet. At Tux. I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't like
BCom
stats,
management.
Though. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Ended up.
Did you get through statistics and ecos?
I paid someone to do my stats for me.
I wish I didn't have money then. So
it was like UWC. I paid them like 10 rand to do my whole exam.
Don't say that too loud. They might.
Too late to cancel me now.
Yeah, it's gonna be on carte blanche now. UWC exam scandal.
It's 20 years ago, baby. What are you gonna do? UWC is a great institution right now, guys. No more corruption. Okay, so would you? I've also always thought like if let's say sometimes we have like these illusions of grandeur where we're gonna be professional sportsmen and like my whole path is already cut out for me. Do you think there's a point for a young man where he should be, or a young woman where she should be like, okay, this is not working out, Because do you think you should like say give it 3 years or give it a certain amount of time, because some people push right through, like this thing is gonna happen. I'm 32, it's still gonna happen. I'm 45, and then they're like, oh crap, I better think about that plan B.
Look, I don't know. I don't think there's a specific time period, because everyone has such different paths. I mean, some guys make it straight out of school. I didn't. I had to go study, play for a while for like 2 years, and then I got an opportunity. So it would have been easy for me at that point to say like, nah, I'd rather just like continue and give it up. So I feel like you can't really give a prescribed time. I think if it borders on the thing of delusion, then I think, like you say, if someone's 45 trying to be and never been a professional cricketer and now still trying, that's a bit weird, I think. But I mean, guys make their debuts. I mean, I'm trying to think now at the top of my head. I mean, Rassie van der Dussen made his debut for Proteas when he was pretty old, like I think 30, 29, 30, and you've taken that chance with both hands and become one of our better white ball batters, plays the league. So, I mean, he could have probably said, no, he's going to stop. And he's probably grateful that he pushed on, because he's taken his chance and he smashed it. So everyone has different paths. I mean, like I said, if the guy's a bit delusional, then hopefully he's got good friends, or she has good friends or parents or something around him to say like, look, maybe study at least while you're trying to pursue this dream, because ultimately I can't sit here and tell people they must give up their dreams. But if it's delusional, then maybe. Yeah,
potentially you should maybe look at a plan B.
Yeah, maybe. Else. But I mean, like I said, guys make it at so many different stages. You look at Quinton KG, they play for South Africa straight out of school. And they shoot their lights out. And other guys, like I said, make their debuts later or play club cricket for like 3-4 years. I mean, look at one of my good mates, Andre Berger, played club cricket for a while, played at Lions like thingy, then he played at Western Province, and now like the last 2-3 years he's been unbelievable, and now he's made it. He's on the IPL. If you told him now he was going to be at 28 playing for IPL, or playing at the IPL, he probably would have said no ways. He's playing club cricket and he's 21. So everyone's got different paths. I mean, there's a guy on our team who's just made it through the club system, Wesley Bedger, gun bowler. Older guy, but he probably could have given up his dream, but he didn't. So who am I to say?
Is that your goal, to play in the IPL?
It's definitely be one of my goals. I think one of my big ones would be like to be in a World Cup winning team. I think that would be sick. But yeah, every cricketer wants to be involved in the IPL. I think that would be, it's probably the premier cricket tournament in terms of fans, viewership, quality of cricketers playing, the mix of the teams, stadiums, like I said. So that's probably every cricketer's dream.
And what's your confidence like, or your faith in the future of South African cricket, or sports in general, actually? Because I see a lot of sports people, like you'd be watching rugby or any other sport, and then in their team there's like a Yanni du Plessis or a Williams, or, you know, so you see these South African surnames all over the show because they've gone there to like look for a better life. I'm one of the people that still, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, still root for South Africa to the bitter end, because I think we've got all the talent here, and most of our talent, the most talented, sometimes tend to want to leave. Do you have any plans to potentially go and live abroad, or would it take like a very good offer that you can't refuse?
No, I have no intentions. I mean, I just got my first contract kind of thing with the Proteas, so it would be a bit silly to do that. But no, I think, look, guys leave in all sports. I've seen like with rugby, cricket, tennis, whatever, for other opportunities. Sometimes it's not always actually to do with, you know, the system. Maybe they just feel like there's a better quality of life if they're married or something, or they want a passport or whatever it is. Like guys leave for different reasons, and more often than not, like they've done what's best for them. And I think that's what most sports people have to do. I think sometimes people get confused because you get to watch someone basically do their job. I feel like sports fans sometimes forget that people are doing their job, and ultimately their decisions off the field will probably, they look at it like a job. So like you say, if someone makes a lucrative offer, if someone's offering them citizenship, or someone's offering them an opportunity for their wife to move over and get a better job, like those are things people have to consider, because ultimately it's their job, it's their and they don't always actually, I think, owe people explanations.
Earlier you said that you read quite a bit. Is that like a daily basis type thing?
I try to. I didn't read today, but I do try to read.
Because I always wonder, like in your life, like, what is a normal day in the life of Tony de Zorzi look like from the time you get up? Let's say I want to touch on like being off season and on season.
Okay.
Like at the moment you are
off season?
Off season, like what does it look like right now? Because a lot of sports or sportsmen, I've lived abroad. Like I was living in LA, and I had like some friends who played like say NFL or all these sports. When it's off season, it's off season.
Yeah,
it's like partying. It's like just letting go until it's almost time to get back on that horse. What is it like for you right now?
Off season, I'll wake up at a normal time. I don't know when. I like to have black coffee, and then if I don't have golf or something on, I'll go to gym.
Yeah,
I'll still try to gym because I think it's easier to just stay fit than to get fit.
Yeah. Do you focus more on weights or cardio, or like a combination? Because I guess as a batter, you can't be too
a combination. Big. I mean, like now you get different programs from different trainers. Some trainers obviously prefer like functional movement. Some guys are more cardio based and like CrossFit type workout. So it depends on the trainers that you're with at the time. Also depends what kind of gym you like to do. I like to do weights, with running, like simple stuff. I don't want to be doing like in the gym, but I mean that works for some people. And then I'll go to gym, eat. I don't always have breakfast because I'm lazy to make breakfast, and I feel a bit heavy when I have breakfast.
So do you do like intermittent fasting, like first meal at 11? Or?
Yeah, but it's not like
you plan to do it. That's
it's just how it goes. I'm not like looking at my watch, counting the hours like that. No, none of that. And train in the morning, relax, try and make some videos and stuff for my channels and podcasts or whatever, do a bit of DIY stuff, whatever I feel like on the day, or play some golf, hang out with mates, go into town for a drink or two, try out the food scene in Cape Town, which is obviously really good. And then in season, it will basically just depend on like games and schedules. So, I mean, if you've got training, you'll wake up, whatever, go to training, gym afterwards, dinner, relax. So
drink of choice?
Alcoholic drink of choice.
Yeah.
Rum and Coke. That's my go-to. Beer. I mean, most guys have a beer after the game or whenever, like as like a form of camaraderie or whatever. But it's not as bad as or taboo as people sometimes try and make it out to be.
You mean the extent of the drinking?
Yeah, I think sometimes they give it like a bad name. It's just having a beer after the game.
So also, after reading Herschel's book, everybody's like,
I don't know. I actually haven't read his book, so I must read it. He's giving away secrets. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I thought we had like a quiet
no,
code.
Not anymore. The cat's out the bag. You got to read the book.
Yeah, I've got to read it. But yeah, that's probably my drink of choice.
Okay. Top 5 books and top 5 films.
Okay. Books. My favorite is, I don't know about you 5, but my favorite is Open. It's a autobiography by Andre Agassi, tennis player.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think it's one of the only ones I've read from like a sports guy that's, as the title says, open. I think a lot of the times autobiographies can be, especially from sports guys, can be quite like
secretive.
Yeah, they just talk about like what they did when they won. This was the year they won this. This was the year the team did this. And we can kind of find most of that stuff out on the internet. I felt like his was one where he was proper behind the scenes, his battles that he had with his family, his wife, his drug addiction, marriage.
That's why I liked Herschel's book.
Yeah, so I can imagine, like you said, it's a bit different to what you usually read.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so I'd say Open. What's another one? Now I'm panicking. Outwitting the Devil. I don't want to give all the basic, like the Alchemist ones.
Outliers.
Yeah.
Outliers is actually quite good though.
Outliers is good. Malcolm Gladwell is good.
Yeah.
Shucks. Okay, give me time. And movies, I'd say favorite movie is Remember the Titans. Remembering the Titans.
Brilliant.
Gun.
Brilliant.
I like The Dark Knight. What's that? Is it Devil's Advocate?
Yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Devil's Advocate. I put
Charlize
that in there.
Theron.
Yes. The original Charlize when she's still South African properly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that. Who else? What else? I like a thriller. I enjoyed 7. These are pretty basic movies I'm giving now.
7 was also Keanu, isn't it?
No, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
Yes. I
think Spacey.
With the 7 Deadly Sins.
Yes. Yeah. So I like a good thriller. Go-to comedy, I've probably watched like Wedding Crashers 100 times. Vince Vaughn in his prime was pretty good stuff.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, sure. For someone who reads, I should be able to name books. It's embarrassing.
No, we can come back to that.
Give me some time.
Back to that. So yeah, in an ideal world, where to next? Because you're young. You're like, I know you don't feel it, but in my world, it's like you're still young. You still have like your whole career ahead of you. You at like, where to from here? Like,
I think you on the path now. So you're just trying to make as many teams as possible. Take your chance when you get your opportunities.
Yeah.
Represent yourself as well as you can. And yeah, I think with cricket, as I've learned, and I think that's probably with most sports guys, is there's obviously a certain amount of things you can control, and there's a certain amount of things you can't. So just being, cognizant of that, and then enjoying that process. I think things will come into your life and when they're supposed to, and that's just kind of how I view it.
Happy days. Favorite thing to do on your spare time these days? Because I find a lot of people are like doing like paddle and.
Hey man, yeah.
Is that like? Would your coaches even allow you to do paddle?
No, you can play. Most cricketers play paddle. I mean,
really?
Yeah, most of the guys are competitive, so they're either playing golf or paddle or something. I like a bit of golf.
Is it just golf for you at the moment?
At the moment, because I want to get better. Like I don't want to be the cuck guy on the 4-ball anymore. Yes. Like I want to. Professional cricket is supposed to be good at golf, and I'm not doing us any justice at the moment. So I'm trying to get better. Otherwise, I like alone time, man. I like to like go out towards Cork Bays, go in a rock pool somewhere, chill, sit under the umbrella so I can stay caramel, and then just chill, man. Like,
I had a question. There's obviously the culture between the Titans cricket culture and Western Province culture it's different, right?
Yeah.
Like, what did you find the differences were? Like, because a lot of people apparently go up to the Titans, and not a lot of people leave the Titans to come to the Western Cape. So, why do you think that is?
I think there's overall cultural differences between people up country and people on the coast. I mean, people on the coast, I think from my time here, are a lot more chilled, a lot more relaxed. I think the biggest, and I think both cultures are good. I mean, last night I watched Jadon Sancho and he struggled at United, and then last night at Dortmund he was the best player. So I think certain teams just allow people to bring out a certain part of themselves, and other teams maybe don't. I think, like I said, at that time there was a lot of Proteas there, so it was a really strong side. And I think the culture was one of those where you had to meet the culture, kind of do what was already prescribed. And then at Province, I think it's probably more of find a way for you to be comfortable being yourself, and how doing that is going to benefit the team. And I think both those cultures work. They're just a little bit different. I think if you had to put all the trophies and success against the teams, I think the Province and Titans would be pretty close. And then but you can also look at the personalities that have come out of the different teams. They're often very different. Like you said, you'll have like a Herschel, and then maybe like a Albie Morkel. Those are completely different characters, but I think they're also products of their environments. But both persons and teams are successful. But yeah, I think the Titans is more like I said, a more structured. Makes it seem like we don't train at Province, but it's a bit more structured.
You're slightly more laid back in the
maybe it's a bit more laid back.
Yeah. You still get the job done though.
Yeah, you still ultimately you still go into the field wanting to win, both teams. Like I said, it's just Tyson might be a little bit more I want to say structured, but
in general I find like people from Gauteng or up country is slightly more they're nicer
but more intense.
They're more intense, but they're like nicer people. I find like I'm from here. I'm from the Western Cape, and I feel like people in Johannesburg are nicer than people in South Africa. Like it's like a known thing that like Cape Town or Western Cape people are slightly more cliquey, or we laid back to a fault where we just like couldn't care less. Like I'll come to your braai. Or 2:00 when next week Wednesday. Yeah, of course. We'll cancel 2 days before.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
I almost did that today.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're molding into our way of being. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Stay Gauteng.
No, I will stay Gauteng.
Because Joburg people are more like, if they say they're doing something, they're going to do it. Things happen faster and quicker.
Yeah.
They are on the one side, I do find that it's more materially driven. It's more materialistic than Cape Town. I don't think Cape Town is as materialistic.
I think it's because there's more stuff to do here. So you like, you just end up being outside most of the time, or like going to the mountain or going surf. I don't know. I almost
You think the
started
mountain and
kayaking.
the ocean has something to do with that? Maybe like
Yeah, probably. I mean, everyone's quite chill. When I drive here, because I'm still from Joburg, it's like people don't want to go home. It's like they're driving, looking at the ocean and stuff. But yeah, honestly, I think that's probably the biggest difference in like team cultures.
like you start seeing the mountain and the ocean and stop thinking of designer clothes.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe. I don't know. You're going to get me in
German
trouble here with
cars.
Cape Town people. Yeah.
Because I don't know, like correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I see. Like there is definitely like a difference in being more materially driven between Joburg and Cape Town. No hate either way. It's just an observation.
Just an observation. Yeah, possibly, bro. I think, I mean, the people who stay in Camps Bay might say it differently. So I don't know. Honestly, I think, there's just maybe more stuff to do here. Like I said, the coastal towns, I think anywhere in the world are usually more relaxed compared to like land thingy places like Joburg.
Landlocked places,
like Victoria and stuff like that. That's just, I think it just naturally happens.
Stay in Western Cape, bro. I think it suits you. You even have like more of like a surfer vibe, calm energy to you. Do you surf?
No, I tried once with mates in Muizenberg.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand. Also, like the waves hit you and the board. Like I was like, this is too much for me, man. Like
you've given up.
Yeah, I've given up. I could see this is not going to be a exponential growth. I'm going to stay pretty average for a while, and I wasn't too interested.
Also, you'll close a lot more business deals out on the golf course than you would in the water surfing.
Exactly. And also, there's sharks there. Like, it doesn't really speak to me. I might start kayaking.
People of color and sharks. Even me.
Yeah. I did kayaking.
Like, why go all the way out there? What are you doing there? Asking for trouble.
Yeah, it's not our home ground.
No. Or jumping off mountains or doing anything ridiculous. I mean, growing up in the hood was enough of a extreme sport.
I can imagine.
I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah. I can imagine.
You didn't grow up in the hood?
No.
Okay. That's good, bro. Wouldn't recommend. Yeah. So, I just touched on business opportunities. Are you an entrepreneur on the side at all? Do you dabble in, because I find a lot of sports people have like sort of side ventures or things that they.
Yeah, there's things I try to do. I think that's one of the reasons why I've gone into like making content and stuff like that. There's stuff that I have planned. I can't tell you because they're my ideas.
Yeah. No,
I'm joking.
Gersh can sign all the copyright forms before you leave here, bro. Tell us your ideas.
So yeah, there's obviously things I will try to do. You want to make things happen if you have the opportunity in some off time, but obviously things are busy, so you don't want it to like distract from playing and that. Because
I've always like with sportsmen, your career, do you think like that? I mean, I think that's why sports people think that they're so old when they're not, in my mind. But you guys are probably thinking it from like a sportsman's age
100%.
Point of view.
100%.
When you say you are 26, it's like 60.
Yeah. Yes.
But actually, there's a time frame of which you are hot that you can play for. Do you constantly think about, shit, what am I going to do after cricket? Because I mean, do you think you still have like a decade?
Yeah, I think if you can stay fit, if you can keep your body healthy, I think nowadays it's probably easier to do that with all the health fads. But I think most cricketers, once they get to a certain age, are aware of the fact that they're getting older. Then it's important for them to, like you say, cash in or make it rain while they still can. And then I think you don't want to have no plans after it. I think a lot of guys sometimes can be guilty of that. I think in all sporting codes, I mean, I read something about NFL guys who make hundreds of millions, and then I think in their first 5 years, they're like broke.
Car
so
salesman.
Obviously, you don't want to be one of those stats.
Nothing wrong with selling cars or being a car salesman, but it's quite a dip. Like you used to earn like $200,000 a week. Yeah. And now you're selling.
Yeah, so it's the guys, you obviously are cognizant of that and don't want to not necessarily make the mistake, but you want to have your plans for afterwards.
What is your preferred avenue of saving money? Are you like a lot of people are like the real estate people where it's like safe money, guaranteed money. I keep buying apartments. By the time I'm retired, I've got 50 studios in the CBD and they're all on Airbnb. Are you that type of guy, or do you go like stocks and bonds? And
I'd say I'm a bit not all over the place, but just a few things I try to do. But also still young, use my cash to travel when I can, because I think time is also not necessarily more important than money, but that's a pretty precious commodity. So, I think once you have like a wife and kids and stuff, I don't think you're going to travel as much, like for fun. So if I have time, that's what I like to do or want to do. And obviously not to the detriment. Like I'm not going to Monaco. I don't have cash for that.
Yeah, maybe one day after the IPL.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that would be cool. Go watch like F1 there. That'd be sick. Go see Lewis.
Yeah. You said wife and kids, bro.
Yeah.
Is there a timeline for that? You're a very structured, I guess, calculating person. Is there like a day or like a year or
where
age
it must happen?
where you just like, I'd like it to happen before that?
No.
You don't think that way?
It must happen. No, I think that's got to be pretty organic. I feel like everything else can be pretty structured, but
so you don't mind pulling a Clooney either, like doing it if you're like.
Yeah, but I don't want to be like
split the difference.
Clooney and what's the other one?
Al Pacino?
No, what's
Robert De Niro?
Oscars from the Titanic. Forgot his name now.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Where you
date
like
21-year-olds like, forever, bro.
That's a bit zesty, bro. So I'm not on that, but I think it'll come organically when it's supposed to.
Not forcing it.
Nah,
it's not the thing to force.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's a perfect closer, bro.
Okay.
Thank you so much for spending time with me today. We really appreciate your time. And yeah, from our side, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're raising that flag high and the bar I said high for all of us. So we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thank you, Tony de Zorzi.